Hello, good morning everybody. Welcome to Paladin 5. Dwarf Paladins. Resistance. Yes, the Dwarf Paladin has been unlocked on my account, and they are powerful when it comes to resistance. Their racial ability to be resistant against different elements is, of course, the thing of legends because of RPGs in general, and because of the books and the lore of the particular race, fantasy race. But yes, in this game, dwarves are very highly resistant to elements, and you can further enhance that resistance by choosing skills that offer you even more resistance, and or equipment that gives you more resistance, and consumables.
Menu, button, heading.
This is, I do believe, our 5th or 6th Paladin. A couple of them I didn't record for you all to hear. Oops. But yeah, this is really fun. I have gotten to the jungle, and I'm just now starting. Oh, actually, I do believe I'm just about to fight Redbeard, or I beat Redbeard, I'm not sure. Either way, I am playing the Paladin. The Paladin is a mystical class. It only has 5 lives before it is done, and the character is erased. You can also gain extra lives if you are fortunate. The other thing about the Paladin is that it unlocks all kinds of new spells. There's upwards of 40 plus spells that the Paladin can unlock. And because it is a mystical class, it also unlocks abilities for your other classes in the game. So it's really amazing. So you can unlock things like luck, rerolls, and other cool kind of things. And again, it is the 2nd mystical class unlocked, and only recently was the update to allow it to be unlocked released. And I like to say that the developer, Randall Higgins, did a magnificent job with the Paladin, because instead of making it almost unapproachable with putting it behind like a huge number of unlockable things, he made it so that you could play the Paladin anytime you want. And when you play it, it always gets something, which is really great. You can be rewarded for finding pets, getting really far into your progression into the character, discovering armors and sets and things like that. So the developers just really tried to make the Paladin as accessible as possible when it comes to gameplay. I'm not talking about accessibility as far as visual impairment. No, it's already 100% accessible in that aspect. What I mean by accessible is that it isn't a class that is blocked by barriers, by having to pay for it. You don't have to pay for it with in-game currency or out-game currency. You can just get it, select a race to play with it, and select a profession. So it's absolutely fantastic. And in this case, since we just recently unlocked a Dwarf, we decided to play with it. So some of the things that the Dwarf has is elemental resistance, as I just mentioned. And the Dwarf also gets 3 attributes to any forge. So if you run across an armor forge, the Dwarf gets 3 attributes. If you run across a weapon forge, the Dwarf gets 3 attributes. So that's really fantastic. Of course, I already know where 2 forges are in Lost Island, and I'm sure there's a 3rd forge on the fire level, but I haven't found it yet. So I'm super excited about unlocking that forge. Again, once I find a forge and I can mentally kind of place where it is, all your other characters can go back to that forge, because that's the thing. You have to play the game discover the secrets so that your other characters, when they play, become stronger and stronger. And as a roguelike is, you basically unlock other character classes by beating the game with the current available character classes. Also, you can unlock other classes and races by doing outstanding things like healing a lot, or beating the game, or finding an armor set, or discovering a secret, or forging a number of times. There are all these really just coy, fun secrets built into the game that are enjoyable as a player. And it just keeps bringing that freshness to the game. And if you didn't know, there is a link in Lost Island. You can now start pre-ordering Adventure to the Core, which is going to be coming out in January, which, you know, I will be all over. It is going to be fantastic. If you are interested in knowing what Adventure to the Core plays like, I have a very awesome beta play of it. It has its own playlist. It's just called Core, C-O-R-E. You can check out that playlist. I play the witch, and I play a warrior, and I'll probably play a rogue or two. I'll just keep giving you samples of the different phases so that when you are ready to play Core next year, you will know exactly what to do, and you can get a head start on all your friends. So when your friends see your achievement list, they're going to be like, hey, how did you do all that? Then you can tell them, well, I watched Game Double Tap. I got the heads up, and I kind of know how to beat the game already. So again, please be aware there are some spoilers. So go there with an understanding that you might know how to do stuff when the game launches. Core will be $4.99, which is very, very reasonable, very inexpensive, and it goes a long way to supporting the outstanding developer Randall Higgins of Touchment. So definitely go to your link in this app, Lost Island, Adventure to Fate, Lost Island, and definitely pre-order Core. It's a good idea. You can also give this game, Adventure to Fate Lost Island, a 5-star rating in the App Store, and you can pick it up itself. It's available for you in all its glory. So that's kind of where we are right now. All right. We are not able, I think, to have music play at this point. It looks like the app is not liking music to play over it. So unfortunately, though I have to say to my noise, thank you very much. I don't think my noise is going to work today when I play. I have about an hour to play. I have a couple errands to run this morning. It's about 8. It's almost 8 a.m. in the morning, and I have about an hour to play, and I have to do a couple of things this morning. Then I can get back to recording after I'm done with that. But yeah, sometimes during updates, music will not mesh well from outside apps. And that goes with any app. I actually have one app currently right now that isn't even working. So unfortunately, many of you will probably know what app I'm talking about, but it isn't working at all. It just won't load. And I think it's going to be a hot fix they need to fix. But the good thing is Lost Island's working, and I've had a lot of opportunity to play quite a bit of it, and I'm very happy to. But yeah, though I know y'all love my noise and the beautiful kind of cozy sounds, I do not believe it's going to work today. So just letting you know that. But we have the beautiful music from the game. It's in-game music. But that's about it for our preliminary information. I hope the things that I tell you are useful, and I don't want to go on too long, so we'll skip the chatting and we will go ahead and keep go ahead and go to the
Volume.
sands.
Audio ducking. Speaking
Since
rate.
we've beaten
65%.
Redbeard, I think it's time to now deal with
Words.
the
Characters.
sands.
Vertical net. Headings.
And to get the
Pirate
water
hideout.
gem.
To floor 10. Character location.
Let me
Stats.
see if my speaking
Movement.
rate
Heading.
is
North.
reasonable.
Button. Movement north is in west. Button. Pirate's
Yeah,
Den is to the
speaking
west and is
rate's
unexplored.
fine.
Action slash search button. Button. West. Button. Pirate's Den is action slash search button. East. Button.
We're gonna get
Pirate
the.
east. You moved east to
We
Pirate's
gotta
Den
pick
room
up
3
the
it was
pirate
unexplored.
chest.
The floor below you sparkles in the faint light.
Redbeard's, map
You moved
is
east to
in
treasure
there.
chest room 4 it was unexplored and is searchable. The floor action slash search button. Button. You searched and found something. You found the following. Copper ore 1. EXP 56. Gold
Okay.
13.
Let's open it.
Treasure map button.
Okay, copper ore, 56 experience, 13 gold, and we have the treasure map. So I've done a thing where I do the treasure map dance, so I might do it
Pick up items
again,
button. Heading.
but not today. I'm just very mellow right now, but I have on a previous video done the treasure map dance. Well, it's more like the treasure map song. Let's pick it. I don't need the treasure map to know exactly what to do. If you do pick up the treasure map, it's fine. You can read it and it tells you how to unlock the water gem, which is hidden behind a kind of stepping maze, which is kind of reminiscent of pirates hiding their treasure. It's kind of fun. It's a fun little mini game.
Discard button.
You don't need the
Pick up
treasure map to
button.
do
Pick
the
up
little
items
trick,
button. Pick
but
up items.
if you've
Read
never
pirate hideout. Heading.
unlocked
To floor
the
10.
water
Stat.
gem,
Movement. North.
you might want
West.
to get this
Actions.
treasure map
East.
so
Button.
you know how to do it.
Movement east is inaccessible. South. Button. A wall is to the south. East. Action slash west. Button. West. You moved west to. You moved west to Pirate's Den room 1 it was unexplored. The floor below you sparkles in the faint light. The stone walls surrounding you echo with voices and groans. You moved west to Shrine of Passage room 0 it was unexplored and is searchable. Action slash search button. Button. Action slash search button. Object in this room. Shrine of Passage. Done. Button. Action slash search button. Button. Action slash search. You moved to an unexplored different floor 10 to Sands of Fortune room 2. You are standing on fine black sand with a glimmer of silver dust throughout. You are on floor 10 in room 2.
So Sands of Fortune is where you find the blue. It's like a blue pedestal. It's like a pedestal with a blue light, and that signifies where you start your quest to gain the water gem. But we're going to do that really easily. This is also the area where you can pick up the sapphire crab. I do believe there are two different crabs. I think
Action
there
log.
is a
Heading not found.
strong
Movement.
crab,
Heading. Stats.
and there's a
Heading.
weaker
Movement.
version of the
North.
crab.
Button. West. Button.
This is also a good
Sands
place
of
to
Fortune is
pick
to the
up
west and is
some
unexplored.
crafting components. So we're going to go ahead and do that.
Action log. Heading not found. Heading not movement. Stats. Level 7.
There
Stone,
also
2
are
slash 2.
some very
HP 139
obnoxious
slash 139.
traps all over
SP
the place.
117 slash 117.
We're gonna have to be
Stats.
careful
Heading.
not to
Character
kill
location.
ourselves.
Stats. Movement. North. West. Button. West. You moved west to Sands of Fortune room 1 it was unexplored. You are standing on fine black. Alert. Trap triggered. You stepped on a trap causing 12 damage. It was done. Button. To floor 11. Button. To floor 11. To floor 11. Stats. Heading. Movement. Action log. Movement. North. West. Action east. South. Button. South. You moved south to Sands of Fortune room 5 it was unexplored and is searchable. You east. Action slash search button. Action slash search button. You battle. Battle started. A slimy crab and slimy crab are here. Slimy crab 88%. Gimli skills. Heading.
Yeah, I named our character Gimli. I named Gimli after, I do believe one of the book
Combat log.
series
Heading
I
not found.
read.
Skills. Heading.
So,
Gimli stats. Heading.
It's cool. I can't remember who the author is, but it's a classic Dungeons and Dragons
Skills.
writer.
Combat log. Skills. Heading. Gimli. Sand. Heading not. Slimy crab 88%.
And
Slimy
I spelled it
crab 88%. Gimli skills.
Gimli.
Attack. Shield bash.
So
Button.
kinda,
Selected skill
I thought
sheet.
it was
Gimli.
a
Sand. Heading not.
dwarvish
Slimy
kind
crab
of name.
88%. 60 shield bash. Pet turn. N2 slot. Parrot hat. Skills. Attack. Peck. Button. Selected skill peck. Parrot. Sand. Heading not found. Slimy crab 88%. 13 peck. 14 peck. Enemy turn. You resisted squirt from slimy crab. Player turn. Slimy crab 31% is here.
As you can hear, my elemental resistance is
you won the battle. Heading.
making it
You found the
hard for
following.
enemies to
Mystic
hit
Ore,
me with
1.
spells,
EXP,
and I
0.
plan on building
Gold,
on
4.
that elemental
Crab blood,
resistance.
button. Crab blood, button. Pick up items, button. Heading.
Yeah, you
Crab
pick
blood,
up
pick up
a
items,
lot of
button.
crab blood.
Pick up items,
and
Mystic Code, heading.
Don't turn your
This is your
nose
current
up at
floor.
it. It is really,
Sands of
really
character
good
location,
stuff.
stat, movement,
And
north,
it saves you
west,
a lot
actions,
of
east,
consumables,
button.
and it's easy to come
Sands of
by.
Fortune is to the east and is unexplored. East. You moved east to Sands of Fortune room 6. It was unexplored and
Though
is
my
searchable.
bags are
Action
almost
slash search
full.
button. Action slash search. You searched and found. Heading. You found the following. Sapphire dust, 1. EXP, 56. Gold, 8. Oak crate, button.
And you got the oak crate, which
Pick
usually
up items, button.
contains
Heading. Pick up items.
kind of a
Mystic code,
low-level
heading. Sands of
common or
character, stat,
uncommon
movement.
item.
North, west.
And sometimes
action
it
slash
contains
east,
some
button.
pretty good potions,
Sands of
so
Fortune,
you
east.
always want to
You
pick
moved east to
these
Sands of
things
Fortune room
up.
7. It was unexplored and is searchable. Action slash search button. Action slash search. Youth battle. Battle started. A noxious spider and Exac are here. Noxious spider 100%. Gimli's skills. Attack. Shield back. Tempest barrier. Celestial strike. Button. Tempest barrier. Button. Skill slot 3.
So Tempest Strike was the first ability that I chose as one of my starting, not my starting, but as one of my Island God power choices, because I am a big fan of reflective damage. So it's one of the really awesome things the Paladin is good at. However, I chose armor smithing and I made a warrior's armor. I made it like, not a warrior's, but I made like a champion's chest plate, and I wish I had made a defensive chest plate. I do more damage, but I feel like the loss of armor is kind of hurting me a little bit. So you have to decide for yourself when you choose armor smithing if you're going to go for the defensive gear or if you're going to go for the attribute gear. I find that
heading.
the
Gimli's Sands of heading not found.
gear
Noxious spider 1.
is
Gimli's
safer.
skills. Attack. Shield bash. Tempest barrier.
You usually
Celestial
do
strike.
pretty
Tempest
good
barrier.
damage.
Button. Skill slot
But
3.
yeah, it's going to be up to you.
Self-cast Tempest barrier.
Tempest
Celestial strike,
Barrier
button.
does reflective
slot 4.
damage, so you can activate this every combat, or you can save your SP and not. Celestial Strike was
Celestial
another
strike,
skill
button.
I chose.
Skill slot 4.
Celestial Strike
Selected skill,
causes
Celestial Strike type skill.
confusion if your
Skill.
opponent
Gimli,
is at a
Sands of
certain
heading not Noxious
hit
spider
point
100%.
level. I really like
32
it because
Celestial
it
Strike.
works well on bosses. And there you go. He gets confused because of Celestial Strike. It doesn't work later on because monsters will have just under
Gimli
the
skills.
threshold
Heading.
required
Attack. Shield bash.
to confuse
Button.
them.
Selected skill
But if
shield
they have
bash type skill.
100%
Gimli,
health,
heading not
then
Noxious spider
Celestial
64%.
Strike usually
30 shield
works.
bash.
I would say
turn.
99% of the time.
Skills. Attack. Button. Skill slot 1.
Of course, I have the parrot, hatchling. I did not get lucky. No, I did not get the upgraded parrot. What is it called? I can't recall, but there's multiple parrots you can get when you get pet rewards. You'll get rewarded for finding rare and ultra rare pets, so keep that in mind when you're doing your paladin or witch run. Being on the lookout for pets is very advantageous. It gives you unlockable credit, so you'll get more in-game currency.
Combat heading not found. Skills. Attack. Peck.
The hatchling is still good.
Selected skill peck type skill.
You're almost always
heading not
going
found.
to want
Not
to
just
switch
spider
out
31%.
the
15 peck.
shipwreck rat for the hatchling.
14 peck. Noxious spider type. Exact summon the spider hatchling. Player turn. Spider hatchling 100%. Exact 100% is here.
So there's a little trick you can do here in the Sands of Fortune or any part of the game if you have proficiency in keeping yourself alive. It's kind of a spawn farming. So if there's a device like an egg sac that keeps producing monsters, or there's a plant monster that keeps reproducing monsters, what you can do is keep the monster that's summoning monsters at a very controlled level. Like, you can never run out their SP, but you can get their hit points down to a very low level, like say 20 to 30%, and then never kill them. Just let them keep summoning other monsters and then keep killing those monsters. Inevitably, that monster will summon another monster. And that's kind of a cool way to get around the fact that there are no respawns in Lost Island. So it's a little trick I found on how to farm. And if you choose the Adventurer choice, so Adventurer is a special talent you can choose as a Paladin or as a Witch, it will give you an extra 5% experience, which is kind of like a really good farming boom. Boon is the word I'm looking for. So yeah, this is what I call spawn. This is what I call resummon or summon farming. It's tricky and you got to be careful and you got to know your limitations. As they say, a man or woman has got to know their limitations. So you've got to know what your limitations are. And obviously, this only works on a creature that you have a strong ability to kill quickly. It is possible to be overwhelmed because the original mob that keeps summoning the new monsters could just keep doing it over and over again and overwhelm you. Those are the intrinsic dangers that go along with trying to work the system. But yeah, it's one of my favorite things to do. Especially, I'll give you an example. For instance, this egg sac, it will push out about a good 3 to 4 spiders if you don't kill it right away. And when you kill the egg sac itself, it still summons another spider. So if you do it right and you're at the correct level, you can gain an extra 50 to 100 experience. And you can do this really well in the jungle where many of the monsters summon lots of adds. So it's a great little trick. And it gives you that little extra help when you get to the volcano level, the fire level, Ignis Town, where you need to be really strong because the monsters don't pull any punches in volcano. They are all very powerful.
Skills. Heading. Attack. Button.
And
skill.
yeah.
Gimli. Sand. Heading not. Spider hatchling 100%.
As far as,
exact 100%. Gimli. Skills.
Well, let me finish
attack,
this fight and I'll tell you more about
Tempest
what
barrier,
I did with my
button.
forge.
Shield bash. Button. Selected skill. Skip. Gimli. Sands. Heading not. Spider hatchling 100%. Miss. 28 shield bash. Pet turn. N2 slot. Parrot hat. Skills. Attack. Peck. Button. Skill slot 2.
Now you gotta, if you want to keep that egg sac summoning creatures, you're going to want to turn off your damage reflection, or actually you can't do that. You're going to want to not activate your damage reflection. You're going to want to not have your pet do heavy damage attacks to it. What you're looking to do is have that egg sac keep summoning small spiders. I'll try to look for opportunities where I can show you how to spawn farm. Also, look for pets that can do things like slow, because slow would
Combat log.
kind
Heading
of,
not
or
found. Skills.
sleep,
Heading.
something
Attack.
like that.
Button.
I don't
Peck.
actually
Button.
know if there's any
Attack.
pets that do
Button.
that, but
Selected. Parrot. Heading
you're
not.
definitely
Round two
looking
starting
for
now.
pets
A
that
spider
can
hatchling and eggs out
slow
here.
the
Heading
enemy
not found.
down.
Combat log. Round 2 starting now. Combat. Skip. Parrot. Sands of Fortune. Heading not found. Exact 100%. Gimli 93%. Exact 100%. 6 attack. Sands of exact 85%.
As you
attack.
notice, I'm using my basic attack,
Enemy
not
turn.
my
Exact
pet,
cast
which
decaying
does
slime
much
on you.
more damage, because
Player
I don't
turn.
want to
Exact
kill
70% is
the
here.
egg sac. I want it to summon more little spiders.
Round 2 start. Combat log. Skip. Gimli. Sands of Fortune. Heading not found. Exact 70. Gimli 100%. Gimli's skills. Attack. Button. Selected skill. Attack type skill.
Of course, sometimes it won't
Shield
summon.
bash.
It will just
Tempest barrier.
use a
Celestial
debuff
strike.
on you.
0. Button. 0. Crab blood. Button. Sea moss. Button. Healing goo. Button. Combat log. Head. Healing. Sea moss. Crab blood. Button. 0. Heal 27 HP and 29 SP. Skills. Heading. Attack. Button. Selected skill. Gimli. Sand. Heading not. Heading not. Exact 70%. 22 attack. Pet turn. 6 attack. The spider hatchling deep spawn.
See, that time it didn't keep summoning.
Spider
Sometimes it
hatchling
will
100%.
summon 4 or 5 spiders,
9
which
attack.
is great. So it's not,
Enemy
it's
turn.
RNG,
Spider hatchling infecting
so
biddy, but you
it's
block.
not 100%
Spider hatchling infecting biddy for 2.
that you're going to be able to
Spider
spawn
hatchling infecting biddy for
farm.
2. Spider hatchling infecting biddy for 1. Spider hatchling infecting. Spider hatchling dead. Spider hatchling infecting biddy but missed. Player turn. Spider hatchling 48%. Spider hatchling 48% is Gimli's skills. Attack. Shield bash. Button. Skill slot 2.
When the egg sac explodes and produces several small spiders, that's a good opportunity to break out your shield bash
Attack.
and
Shield
farm
bash.
some
Button.
redeemed
Selected
souls.
skills. Gimli.
Because
Sands. Heading
your
not found. Gimli stats.
shield
Heading.
bash
Sands.
has
Heading.
a
Heading not
5%
found. Spider
chance
hatchling 48%.
to gain you a redeemed soul if it kills a
30
monster.
shield bash. Pet N. 3 slot. 9 attack. 9 attack. Victory. Enemy turn. You won the battle. Heading. You found the following. Copper ore. 1. EXP. 27. Gold. 31. Restoring goo. Button. Pick up items. Button. Heading. Pick up items. Mystic code. Heading. This is your current floor.
Another good reason to spawn farm is if you have the Hoarders perk. With that perk, you can, and I call perks are basically they're basically talents that you get a choice of. The Hoarders perk is great because it gives you a 5% chance from all sources to get items. It's very useful. I do believe on this run, I chose the Negotiator perk. The reason being is it's very expensive to buy from the merchants. And the secret merchant, his items are extremely expensive. Getting a 25% discount is very, very much worth it. The other good thing about Negotiator is, of course, every merchant you visit gives you a 25% discount, which is fantastic. For some reason, my noise is not having a dysfunction with the music today. So I do believe I had to turn off the game's music in order to get my outside source music to work. So that's totally okay. Again, I love the game's in-game music. It is beautiful, cute, adorable. Randall did a fantastic job of it. And I never turn off the sound effects. They're just too precious to me. By the way, with the new update, the sounds have been moved into a more intuitive kind of design. So the schools of magic sound more similar to the elemental focus that they revolve around. And that makes the game's magic much better. So you know when a monster is using a water spell because it sounds very similar to water. You know when a monster is using a fire spell because it has that gravitas of fire, that rumble. And you know if a monster is using an earth spell because it has that rock and roll of earth. And you know if a monster is using a shadow spell because you can hear that creepy, cringy shadow damage. So it's really cool. Again, this developer spends a lot of time just watching how the game plays, listening to the people who play it, and crafting his art so that it just plays perfectly. The UI is absolutely outstanding. The menu system is 100% accessible. The navigation system is totally catered toward the blind and visually impaired. And he does a fantastic job of using a development system that lets me be able to line by line, paragraph by paragraph, word by word, character by character, look at every single thing in the game. So I know exactly what a spell's name is. I don't have to kind of ask somebody what is the name. Though there are many games that have codexes. The beauty of Lost Island is if I want to know what a spell is, all I have to do is either listen to the spell or activate my rotor and read it character by character. Because everybody knows not everybody's voiceover pronounces things the way you want it to pronounce things. So that's one of the benefits of Lost Island. Everything is accessible for you as a visually impaired person to
Sands
use your rotor
character
to
location,
discover
heading,
what
image,
exactly a
lieutenant,
spell
stats,
does.
Character, Sands of Fortune, Mystic Code, menu, button,
there's so
heading,
many cute
heading not found.
names for spells
Mystic
and
Code,
monsters,
heading,
so
menu, button,
it's
heading.
really, really fun.
Mystic Code, Sands of Fortune, character location, stats, heading, levels, Stom, 2/2, HP, 139/139, SP, 37/117. Stats, character location, Sands of Fortune, Mystic Code, head, menu, button, heading, advanced stats, exit menu, skill book, craft, inventory, button, inventory,
I need
equipment,
to take
bottled message,
some
button,
SP pots.
inventory, destroy, button, unequip, equip, button, use, button, info, button, equip potions, 0, button, CMOS, button, healing goo, button, potion slot.
I have a
Info,
healing
button,
goo
use, button, head,
and
equip,
a sea
button,
moss.
heading,
A sea moss
equip,
is a
heading,
buffing potion.
unequip, button,
It actually
destroy,
gives you
inventory, solos,
some
violet flight, CMOS,
minor,
violet slime,
I think,
but,
water
violet slime,
resistance.
healing goo, button, inventory, restore, healing goo,
I'm
equip,
going to equip a pot.
inventory, destroy, but, unequip, equip, button, use, heading, CMOS, but,
We'll put
CMOS,
in healing
violet
goo.
slime, restoring goo,
And then
restoring
I'm
goo,
going to take
crab blood,
myself
button,
a
crab
SP
blood,
pot.
alert, you drank a potion. You gain 29 HP and 28 SP. New totals 139/139 HP 65/117 SP. Done. Button. Crab blood. Crab blood.
Good
button.
old crab blood.
Restoring goo. Button. Crab blood. Restoring goo. Button. Crab blood. Alert. You drank a potion. You gain 32 HP and 36 SP. New totals 139/139 HP 101/117 SP. Done. Button. Inventory. Heading. CMOS, button, CMOS, violet slime, restoring goo, crab blood, button. Crab blood, alert, you drank a potion. You gain 28 HP, done, button. Inventory, heading.
One of the things to keep in mind is that every couple of levels, you'll open up some more crafting capabilities. And if you choose armor smithing, which is very wise because you are a heavy armor user as a paladin, you'll come across some pretty good best in slot items, which means they're the best you can get at that level. It's a term that comes from large MMOs where they often refer to things as BIS, BIS, BIS which is best in slot. So in this game, there is no better armor you can get than from armor smithing. Though keep in mind, there are one-of-a-kind, super powerful legendary items that can drop from even Redbeard. I would say it's maybe 3% chance to drop, maybe even less. But there is the one amulet. It is exquisite, and it would have been perfect if we could have picked it up. It has +1 in every attribute. Yeah, you heard me right. It has a +1 in every attribute. It drops from Redbeard. I've only gotten it once. You can check out my Sanguine Paladin playthrough. Yeah, she got that one. It was super awesome. Again, I'm really hoping I'll get one of those rare armor set items, and those are just the new armor sets that were put into the game by Randall Higgins recently. They're really fantastic, but they're very hard to get. I probably feel like there's this thing, spoiler alert, there's this thing called the Endless Dungeon later on in the game, and I do believe some of those items may become available to you. Also, if you're playing a non-mystical class, you can get that one amulet and you can trade it among all your classes. So you're definitely going to want to go back and play your regular classes and farm. I heard this really interesting rumor that if you beat the game with a mystical class and you never die, you'll actually unlock the vault for all characters, including your mystical class. That's just a rumor. I don't know if it's true. But if you can do that, that is absolutely amazing.
Equip, use, info, equip, menu, heading not found.
Let's
Equip,
see,
rusty, small OG, champion, equip, menu, heading not found.
I'm fully topped off, and I've got potions equipped, so we're gonna go exit. My equipment is really not much to show off right now. I'm pretty much filling it in with anything I can get from my armor smithing.
Exit menu,
unfortunately, none of the pirates dropped any decent weapons, so I'm going to be looking for a decent weapon probably when we get to the jungle. All right, let's keep searching the sands. I don't know if this episode we're going to get to the jungle, but I'll come back with the Dwarf Paladin, and there's no danger we're not going to make it through the jungle. The Dwarf does have some limitations. Its agility is a little low, but we will compensate for that agility probably by choosing agility if the attribute is offered. Because you get rewards for leveling up, you get rewards for interacting with the statues of Nyx, or there's a couple other instances where whenever you interact with a gameplay element, you can actually unlock a mystical unlock, or you can unlock an island god power. But for the most part, we haven't had an opportunity to really take agility. If we did have the opportunity, I didn't choose it because I chose damage reflect, because damage reflect does so much work. Yeah, we're level 7. We're about to turn level 8, and we will get a new crafting. I think the next crafting item that comes, we just got hands, plate hands. I think we're going to be offered plate. I think it will be plate. We already have plate pants on already. I call it fire pants, like something silly. I promise you I'd tell you what I forged. I forged fire resist pants simply because I know when I get to the fire level, I'm going to want to have as much fire resistance as possible. So we did forge fire pants. The only attribute we added was fire resist. Because of our natural affinity toward elemental resistance, we have plus 18 fire resist already on this character. So that's absolutely fantastic. So yeah, that is our fire resist. So we'll be looking to craft, I want to say, either the shield. I think that's it. The shield. We don't get the boots for a while. I don't think we get boots prior to the fire level, unless something drops. A lot of times on the Paladin, you're going to be wearing leather. So that's going to be medium armor. And there's a really good shield that drops in the jungle. It's actually comparable to any heavy shield. So I don't make the shield anymore at the forge. I've done it before. It's not that useful because number one, the shield that the armor smith makes is better. The only thing that makes the shield you create better is what attributes you decide to emphasize. So I prefer to make my own shield with my armor smithing profession. And the one thing that takes forever to get are the pants. So I always forge, create
movement,
pants.
heading, action log, heading not found, movement,
you tend to
north,
run around
west,
with no
action
pants
slash
a lot in
east,
this game.
button. Sands of Fortune is to the east and is unexplored. Action slash search button, button. Action slash search button. You search and find nothing. West, button. Actions, east, button. Action slash west, north, button. Sands of Fortune is to the north leading to floor 9. West, button. Action, east, button. East. You moved east to Sands of Fortune room 8. It was unexplored. You are standing on fine black sand. Action slash search, west, north, button. Sands of Fortune is to the north and is unexplored. North. Alert. Trap triggered. You stepped on a trap. Done. Button. To floor 11. Button. To floor 11. Button. Stats. Movement. Action log. Movement. North. West. Action slash east. South. Button. South. You moved south. East. Button. Sands of Fortune is to the east and is unexplored. East. Alert. Trap triggered. You stepped on a trap causing 25 damage. Done. Button. To floor 11. Character location. Sands of Fortune. Button. Character. Stats. Heading. Levels. Stom. 2/2. HP. 102/139. Stats. Character location. Sands of Fortune. Mystic Code. Heading. Menu. Button. Heading. Advanced stats. Heading. Exit menu. Skill book. Crafts. Inventory. Button. Inventory. Equipment. Equip potion. Info. Button. Use. Button. Use.
I'm gonna
Grab
top
block.
off.
Button. Sailor's Bath. Alert.
Taking
You
a
drank
lot
the
of
potion.
trap damage.
You gain 26 HP and 25 SP. New totals 128/139 HP 107. Done. Button. Bottled message. Button. Destroy. Button. Unequip. Equip. Use. Info. Button. Healing goo. Button. CMOS. Button. Healing. Info. Use. Equip. Unequip. Destroy. Inventory. Soul ooze. Violet. Violet slime. Button. Oak crate. Leather cap. Button. Oak crate. Button. Sailor's gloves. Rewards view. Oak crate opened. Heading. You found the following inside. Leather boots. Button. Pick up items. Button. Heading. Pick up items. Heading. Bottled message. Button. Sailor's belt. Button. Restoring
cool.
goo.
We got
Button.
some leather
Violet
boots.
slime.
We'll definitely
Button.
equip those.
Restoring Sailor's belt. Bottled message.
And that
Captain's
came
locker.
from
Captain's
the
locker.
oak
Treasure
crate.
map. Leather boots. Sailor's vest. Leather vest. Sailor's gloves. Sailor's gloves. Restoring goo. Button. Violet CMOS. CMOS. Violet flat. Soul ooze. Inventory. Heading. Captain's hat. Button. Leather cap. Button. Restoring goo. Button. Inventory slot. Sailor's belt. Button. Bottled message. Sailors. Restoring. Violet slime. CMOS. CMOS. Violet flat. Soul ooze. Inventory. Heading. Destroy. Unequip. Equip. You. Info. Equipment. Menu. Button. Heading. Equipment. Heading.
Actually
Menu.
running
Heading
low
not
on
heading
healing
equipment. Equip
pots.
potion. Info. Use. Equip. Button. Equip. Heading. Leather vest. Button. Sailor's glove. Sailor's gloves. Linen gloves. Moldy gloves. Captain's hat. Leather cap. Button. Inventory slot. 0. Button. 0. Button. 0. Button.
those
0.
boots.
0. Leather cap. Captain's hat. Moldy gloves. Linen gloves. Sailor's gloves. Sailor's gloves. Leather vest. Button. Sailor's vest. Button. Leather boots. Button. Leather boots equipped.
Yeah, I had sailor's boots on, I do believe. You're going to want to always upgrade as a paladin from the squishy cloth gear to the little bit more rugged leather gear. And eventually, you're going to want to craft your own gear or get plate from the trader or shops.
Warrior's mail. Button. Anti-fire pants. Button.
Here's what I'm currently wearing.
Studded leather belt. Button. Champion's gloves. Button. 0. Button. Next lot. 0 button. Bracelet slot. Rusty ring button. Ring 1 slot. Pirate's ring button. Ring 2 slot. Equip potions heading. Healing goo button. Sea moss button. Healing goo button. Info button heading. Tap an item equipped or in inventory to get info on the item. Equipment heading pet inventory crap skill book exit menu button exit menu mystic code heading. This is your current floor.
And that's it. Once we're done with the Sands of Fortune, we're gonna go back to the I call it Aqua Town, which is Greek for water. We're gonna probably want to pick up at least 3 to 4 heal pots. I think that's probably a safe thing to do.
West, button,
at least until we start farming up fruit pots in the jungle.
Button. Sands of Fortune is to the south and is unexplored. South, dim, battle. Battle started. A sapphire crab and ruby crab are here. Sapphire crab 100. Gimli skills. Attack. Shield back. Tempest barrier. Celestial strike. Tempest barrier. Button. Self-cast Tempest barrier. Shield bash. Button. Skill slot. Selected skill. Gimli. Sands of heading not found. Sapphire crab 100% is taunt. 53 shield bash. Pet turn. Parrot hat. Skills. Attack. Peck. Button. Selected parrot. Sand. Heading not found. Sapphire crab 24% is 13 peck. 11 peck. Enemy. Ruby crab dual pinch but missed. Player turn. Ruby crab 100% is here. 52 shield bash. Pet turn. Block. 15 peck. Victory. Enemy turn. You won the battle. Heading. You found the following. Copper ore 1. EXP 17. Gold 5. Crab blood button. Crab blood button. Pick up items button. Heading. Pick up items. You mystic code heading. Sands of character location stat movement. EXP 300 stats heading character location
cool.
stat movement
some crab blood.
west
We need some
action
more of
slash
that.
search action slash search button. You search and find nothing. Action log heading movement heading north west button. Sands of Fortune is to the west and is unexplored. West. You moved west to Sands of Fortune room 13. It was unexplored. You are standing on fine black sand with a glimmer of silver dust throughout. You action slash west button. Sands of Fortune is to the west. An object west. You moved west to Sands of Fortune room 12. It was unexplored. A bright blue flame burns, but lets off no heat. You are on floor 10 in room 12. Action log. Heading not movement. Heading. North.
All right, now we're going to go ahead and do our map dance and get this water gem taken care of. Then we'll go back to farming the Sands of Fortune.
You moved south. You moved to an unexplored. You moved south. You moved south. You moved south to Black Sand Beach room 18. It was unexplored and is searchable. East button. Action slash search button. Button. Action slash search. Youth battle. Battle started. A ruby crab. Ruby crab and sapphire crab are here. Ruby crab 100%. N. 1. Gimli skills. Attack. Shield bash. Tempest barrier. Celestial Tempest barrier. Self-cast Tempest barrier. Shield bash. Button. Combat log. Heading. Heading not. Skills. Attack. Shield bash. Button. Selected skills. Gimli. Black. Heading not found. Ruby crab 100%. N. Ruby crab 100%. N2 slot. Sapphire crab 100% is taunting. 49 shield bash. Pet turn. Parrot hat. Skills. Attack. Peck. Button. Selected parrot black heading not ruby crab sapphire crab 30% 11 peck. 11 peck. Enemy ruby crab attack for 1. Ruby crab paralyzing pinch for 3. Player turn. Ruby crab 81%. Ruby crab 81% is here. Ruby crab 81%. 60 shield bash. Ruby crab dead. N. 1 slot. Black Sand Beach. But Ruby crab 81%. 13 peck. 11 peck. Enemy turn. Ruby crab dual pinched for 8. Player turn. Ruby crab 26% is. You do not have enough resources to use this skill. Heading not found. Skills. Attack. Button. Selected skip. Gimli. Blacks. Heading not found. Ruby crab 26%. 22 damn 11 heal. Victory. You won the battle. Heading. You found the following. Sapphire dust. 1. EXP. 36. Gold. 6. Crab blood. Button. Crab shell blocker. Button.
Oh, cool. We got a shield. The crab shell blocker is better than the default shield you come with equipped as a paladin. So you do get some plate equipment when you first start off as a paladin, even from level 1. So yeah,
Pick up
the
items.
crab shell
Button. Heading.
blocker has damage reflect, which really works with our build because we will be making a dwarf with damage reflect and elemental resistance. And the crab shell blocker
Discard.
is a
Button.
pretty
You gain 36 experience. Total damage.
common drop.
177 total. You gain
Fight a
36
lot of
experience.
crabs
Discard.
and
Pick up
they will
items.
eventually
Button.
drop.
Pick up items. Mystic
There are
code.
no
Menu.
respawns,
Button. Heading.
so just make sure
Advanced
you kill
stats.
everything.
Exit menu. Skill book. Craft. Inventory. Button. Equipment. Heading. Equip post info. Button. Heading. Use. Equip. Button. Equip. Heading. Crab blood. Button. Crab blood. Crab blood. Button. Sailor's belt. Bottled message. Captain's log 13. Captain's log 27. Treasure map. Button. Sailor's boots. Sailor's vest. Leather vest. Button. Sailor's gloves. Sailor's gloves. Linen gloves. Moldy gloves. Captain's hat. Button. Leather cap. Crab shell blocker. Button. Small crab shell blocker equipped. Leather cap. Small oak shield. Button. Inventory slot. Destroy.
So this,
info.
I replaced the
menu. Heading
small
not found.
oak shield
Pets.
with a crab
Inventory.
shell blocker,
Craft.
and
Skill
that's
book.
always
Exit
a
menu.
good one
Button.
to do. I
Exit
think
menu.
it has
Mystic
just
code.
one
Heading.
more armor and that
This is your
damage
current floor.
reflect, which is
Wall.
really great.
Character. Stat. Movement. Heading. Stats. Heading. Level 7. Gold. Stom. 2/2. HP. 137/137. SP. 48/115. Stats. Heading. Character location. Wall. Button. Mystic code. Menu. Button. Heading. Advanced stats. Exit menu. Skill book. Craft. Inventory.
Yeah, we're
Button.
running a little low
Equipment.
on
Crab blood.
mana
Button.
again.
Inventory slot. Inventory. Destroy. Unequip. Equip. Button. Use. Button. Use. Heading. Crab blood. Button. Crab blood. Alert. You drank a potion. You gain 29 HP and 29 SP. New totals 137/137 HP 77/115 SP. Done. Button. Crab blood. Button. Sailor's back. Alert. You drank a potion. You gain 27 HP and 25 SP. New totals 137/137 HP 102/115 SP. Done. Button. Destroy. Unequip. Equip. Use. Info. Equip. Equipment. Head. Menu. Button. Heading not found. Pets. Inventory. Craft. Skill book. Exit menu. Ocean. Button. Stats. Movement. Heading. North. West. Button. Black Sand Beach is to the west. West. You moved west to Black Sand Beach room 17. It was unexplored and is searchable. Action/search button. Action/search. You searched and found. Heading. You found the following. Water essence. 1. EXP. 56. Gold. 6. Sea moss. Button. Pick up items. Button. Pick up items. Read the mystic code. Heading. Wall. Character. Stat. Movement. Action log. Heading. Movement. North. Button. North. You moved north. You moved north to. You moved to an unexplored different floor 10 to Sands of Fortune room 22. You are west. Button. Sands of Fortune is west. You moved west to Sands of Fortune room 20. You moved west to Sands of Fortune room 20. It was unexplored and is searchable. You are action/search button. Action/search. You searched and found. Heading. You found the following. Copper ore. 1. Water gem. Gold. 12. Captain's cuffs. Button.
Okay, we completed the map dance and we got the water gem. Oh, Captain's Cuff is actually a pretty decent drop. And for early on in the game is your
Sapphire
best
room.
in
Button.
slot wrist piece. It has damage reflect and a pretty good amount of armor.
Pick up items. Button.
So we
Heading.
will
Pick
equip
up items.
that one.
Read mystic
That's
code.
a
Heading.
welcome drop.
Menu. Button. Heading.
And Sapphire
stats.
Rune is a
Heading.
consumable. I do believe it gives you a little bit more
Bestiary.
SP.
Advanced. Exit menu. Skill book. Craft. Inventory. Button. Inventory. Equip. Info. Button. Use. Equip.
We'll go ahead
button,
and equip that.
Heading. Crab blood.
We'll go
button,
ahead and
Sailor's
equip those
belt,
Captain
button,
Cuffs.
Bottled message. Button. Captain's log 13. Captain's log 27. Treasure map. Button. Sailor's boots. Button. Captain's cuffs. Button. Captain's cuffs equip. Leather vest. Button. Inventory. Destroy. Unequip. Button. Equip. Use. Button. Heading. Use. Heading. Sailor's belt. Button. Bottled message. Captain's log 13. Button. Sailor's crab blood. Button. Restoring goo. Button. Crab blood. Sailor's bottled mess. Captain's log 13. Captain's log 20. Treasure map. Sailor's boots. Sailor's vest. Leather vest. Sailor's gloves. Sailor's gloves. Linen gloves. Moldy gloves. Captain's hat. Button. Leather cap. Button. Sapphire rune. Button. Small oak alert. You used the rune. You used the sapphire rune which grants 1 wisdom and 2 water damage permanently.
Oh, that was really good. We got water damage and we got wisdom. Wisdom is really good because that actually, I do believe, will improve our elemental resistance. So that fits our build.
Heading
Even
not,
if it
heading not,
doesn't,
distro,
wisdom
unequip,
is something
info,
that the paladin
equip,
does
menu,
use.
heading not found, pets, inventory, craft, skill book, exit menu, button, exit menu, navigation
We
guide,
just get a
suggested location to
little
go to next,
stronger
image.
incrementally. Okay, navigation guides will start popping up for those of you who haven't memorized the whole layout of these zones. The navigation guides are put in there by Randall Higgins so that you can figure out where to go
Stats, movement,
once you've
heading.
kind of completed some
North,
of your
West,
quests.
button. Movement west,
And they're
action slash
very
search
welcome
button,
because
action
I've
slash search
actually
button, you
had
search
to
and
use
find
those
nothing,
quite a
east,
bit when I
button.
first started playing.
Action slash search, west, button. You can't go that way, you are already at the westernmost part of the map, north, button. Sands of Fortune is to the north and is unexplored. North. You moved north, NPC slash object on this square. Says, you have found a water gem. Now you need to return it to the idol of water in the sacred gem room. Follow the flashing indicator. Done, button. Action slash
So
search
follow
button,
the
button.
directions of
Action
the
slash search button, battle
NPCs,
started.
and they will
The coral crab
get
is here.
you to where you need to go to turn in
Coral
the
crab
gem
100, Gimli,
if
skills,
you're not familiar
attack,
with
shield
the game.
bash, button. Selected skill, Gimli, sense, heading not, coral crab 100%, 62 shield bash. Pet turn, you won the battle, heading. You found the following, Mystic Ord, 1, EXP, 0, Gold, 3, Crab Blood, button, pick up items, button, pick up items,
Yeah, I can
Mystic
feel
code,
our
heading.
power is
Sands of character
increasing. We're
stat,
doing a
movement,
lot more
north,
damage.
button. Sands of Fortune is to the north and is unexplored. North, alert, trap triggered, you stepped on a trap causing 25 damage, it was disarmed after. Done, button. Navigation guide, stats, movement, heading, stats, level set, stom, 2 slash HP, 112 slash 137, movement, action log, movement, north, button. Sands of Fortune is to the north. Action log, heading not found, movement, head, north, west, button. Action, east, button. Sands of Fortune is to the east and is unexplored. East, alert, trap trick, you stepped on a trap causing 25 damage, it was disarmed after, done, button. Navigation guide, character location, Sands of Fortune, mystic code, menu, button, heading, advanced stats, exit, skill book, craft, inventory, button, inventory, equip, crab blood, inventory, heading, destroy, unequip, equip, use, button, use, CMOS, button, CMOS, violet slime, button, violet slime, restoring goo, button, inventory slot, crab blood, alert, you drank a potion. You gained 34 HP and 31 SP. New done, button. Crab blood, button, inventory, heading. Crab blood, button, sailor's bell, alert, you drank a potion. You gained 25 HP and 28 SP. New totals 137 slash 137 HP, 115 slash 115 SP. Done, button. Inventory, destroy, unequip, equip, use, equip, menu, heading not found, pets, inventory, crafts, skill book, exit menu, button, exit menu. Navigate, stat, movement, heading. North, button. West, button. Sands of Fortune is to the north, button. Sands of Fortune is to the north. West, action slash, west, button. Sands of Fortune is to the west. Action slash search button, east, south, button. Sands of Fortune is to the south and is unexplored. South. You moved south to Sands of Fortune room 16, it was unexplored. You are standing on east, but actions, west, north, button, north. You moved north to Sands of Fortune, west, button, actions, east, button. Sands of Fortune is to the east. An object or NPC is here. East. You moved east to Sands of Fortune room 12. A bright blue flame burns, but lets off no heat. You are on floor 10 in room 12. Action slash search button, east, button, south, east, action slash, west, north, button. Sands of Fortune is to the north. West, button. Actions, east, button, east. You moved east to Sands of Fortune room 13. You are standing on fine black sand with a glimmer of action slash west, north, button. Sands of Fortune is to the north. West, button. Actions, east, button. Sands of Fortune is to the east. East. Action slash west, north, button. Sands of Fortune is to the north. West, button. Actions, east, button. Level 7, gold 390, movement, action log, movement, north, west, action slash east, button. Movement east is inaccessible, south, button. Sands of Fortune is to the south and is unexplored. South. You moved south to Sands of Fortune room 19, it was unexplored. You are standing on fine black action log, heading, south, east, action slash west, button. Sands of Fortune is to the west. West. You moved west to Sands of Fortune room 18, action slash west, button. Sands of Fortune is to the west and is unexplored. West. Alert. Trap trigger. You stepped on a trap causing 12 damage. It's done. Button. Navigation guide. Suggested location to go to next. Stats. Movement. Heading. North. West. Button. Sands of Fortune is to the west. West. You moved west to Sands of Fortune room 16. You are standing on fine action slash west. Button. Sands of Fortune is to the west. Web. NPC/object on this square. Says, you have found the done button. Action/search button. East button. Action/west but. South button. East. Action/west button. Movement west is inaccessible. Action/east. South button. Sands of Fortune is to the south. South. You moved south to Sands of Fortune room 20. It was unexplored. You are standing on find east button. Sands of Fortune is to the east. East. NPC/object on this gem guardian. NPC/object done button. Action/search button. East button. Sands of Fortune is to the east leading to floor 11. East. You moved to a different floor 11 to Black Sand Beach room 2. The beach is covered with action/search button. Action/search. You move east button. Sands of Fortune is to the east leading to floor 11. Movement. Heading. Action log. Movement. North. Button. North. You moved north to Sands of Fortune room 17. West. Button. Actions. East. Button. Sands of Fortune is to the east. East. You moved east to Sands of Fortune room 18. You are standing on fine black sand with a glimmer of silver dust through actions. East. Button. Sands of Fortune is to the east. East. You moved east to Sands of Fortune room 19. South. Button. Sands of Fortune is to the south leading to floor 11 and is unexplored. South. You moved to an unexplored different floor 11 to Black Sand Beach room 4. The beach is covered with fine black sand and an occasional pearl white shell. You are on floor 11 in room 4. East. Button. Action/west. Button. Black Sand Beach is to the west leading to floor 10. Action/east. South. Button. South. Alert. Trap triggered. You stepped on a trap causing 25 damage. Done. Button. Ocean. Button. 20. Character wall. Button. Mystic code. Wall. Character stats. Levels. Stom. 2/2. HP. 100/137. Movement. Heading. EXP. 4. Movement. North. Button. West. Button. Black Sand Beach is to the west. West. You moved west to Black Sand Beach room 8. The beach is covered with fine black sand and an occasional pearl white shell. You are on floor 11 in room 8. North. West. Button. Black Sand Beach is to the west. West. You moved west to Black Sand Beach room 7. The beach is covered with fine action/west. Button. A wall is to the west and you cannot go that way. Action/east. South. Button. Black Sand Beach is to the south.
Michael, here
Alexa, stop. We're just about out of time, but I thought we'd just catch the crab. You can catch yourself your own little crabby, which you can use as your friend. He has really good armor, and he has one attack, and he has some healing capabilities and a little bit of water spell action.
South. You moved south to Black Sand Beach room 12. The beach is covered with fine black sand and an occasional pearl white shell. You are on floor 11. Action log. Head. South. East. Button. Black Sand Beach is to the east. South. Action log. There is a disarmed action log. Heading. South. Button. East. Button. Black Sand Beach is to the east. East. You moved east to Black Sand Beach room 13. The beach is covered with south. East. Button. Black Sand Beach is to the east and is unexplored. East. You moved east to Black Sand Beach room 14. It was unexplored and is searchable. Action/search button. Action/search. You found something. Heading. You found a pet. Tap image button to pick up. Ruby crab. Button. Ruby crab. Button. Ruby crab. An armored creature with strong physical attacks and the ability to stun its foes. Party members' armor count is boosted during battle.
And there's our
STR
pet.
5. In 3. Agi 6.
Ruby
With 5.
crab.
Luck 1.
Yeah, this is really good. I almost say you want to get this pet because of the armor and the stun capabilities. If you don't get the vibrant, that's what it's called, the vibrant parrot. If you get the vibrant parrot, stick with that because it has blind, and blind makes it really hard for your opponents to hit you. Between blind, confuse, stun, and confuse, I just said that twice. Between blind, confuse, and stun, it's really hard for your opponents to hurt you. We might put the ruby crab on. I'm not sure. I like the vibrant parrot, I like the parrot hatchling a little bit better because peck is such a great utility. And the ruby crab only gets to attack once, and it's a very low amount of damage. Oh, actually, this one might be the one. Okay, this is the special one. This one's got paralyzing pinch. That's quite effective. We might choose this pet over our parrot hatchling.
Menu. Heading not found. Mystic code. Menu. Button. Advanced stats.
Yeah, I
Exit
think
menu. Skill book.
I think
Crafts.
I will use
Inventory.
this one
Pets.
simply
Button.
because it's
Pets.
got paralyzing
Parrot hatchling.
pinch, which is
Parrot
really
pets.
effective.
Parrot hatchling and pets. Shipwreck. Parrot hatchling. Ruby crab. Button. Ruby crab is now your active pet. Pets. Ruby menu. Heading not found. Pets. Button. Inventory. Button. Inventory. Crab blood. Button. Inventory. Destroy. Unequip. Equip. Use. Button. Use. Crab blood.
All right.
Button. Sailor's Bell. Alert. You drank a potion. You gain 29 HP and 28 SP. New totals 129/137 HP 115/115 SP. Done. Button. Inventory. Heading.
Okay, we got that done. Okay, I think we're gonna take a break right here. We're almost at Aqua Town, which is the first starting town. It doesn't have a name. I just like to call it Aqua Town. But that's it for it. This is our part 1 of our Dwarf Paladin. And I hope you have had a chance to play the new Paladin class. It is instantly available to everyone if you update to the newest version of the game of Lost Island. And don't forget to check out my streams on Saturday between 10 a.m. and 12 p.m. Every Saturday, you can come and hang out with the developer, Randall Higgins of Touchment, myself, my moderators, and all the other fun people who come to just offer their opinions. Thank you very much, folks, and I'll hear you next time on Lost Island. And of course, truly, deeply, sincerely, take care.